All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News's first post-match live stream analysis. It's August 13th, 2023, and Barcelona's first match of the 2023-2024 season just ended. It ended in a draw, 0-0 against Getafe in what I can only describe as a disgusting and despicable match by Bordelas's men. Now let's discuss all the match analysis. I see a lot of people already waiting. Sorry, I started a little bit late, but with this new rule this season where referees have to add every single second that's wasted during the match. The match ended up going 10 minutes past the scheduled time. So now I'll have to account for that, and I'll start doing these live streams, schedule them a little bit later. But nonetheless, here we are. Thank you for everyone who was waiting. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or gear, hit the kickback. If you are looking to place any sports bet, make sure you hit the bet us. Both links will be in the description. I haven't added them yet. I didn't have much time. I had to rush, try to get everything set up. But nonetheless, let's start with the match analysis. By the way, there will be a news video today. As soon as I'm done with this live stream, I will right away film the video. Lots of news today. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But let's talk about the match because, my God, guys, what a match. What a way to start the season. Absolutely disgusting match by Getafe. It's expected. That's just how they play. They're known for keeping their grass really tall in their stadium. They keep it dry as well, in order to disrupt the movement of the ball. They love parking the bus. At times they were defending with 10 men. And of course, Bordalas, Getafe's coach, does not have 11 players. He has 11 butchers, 11 mercenaries, maybe 10. We don't want to include the goalkeeper, which all they did all match was foul after foul. I mean, you saw it. Elbows, holding, pushing players, wrestling players down to the ground. I mean, it looked like a WWE match. Absolutely disgusting, despicable match by Getafe, which made things a lot more difficult for Barcelona. Looks like Barcelona are still having a hard time unlocking kind of those low block defenses, those teams that like to park the bus. But at the same time, I wouldn't say there's a lot of blame to be laying on the team, because we all saw the dirty match, disgusting match played by Getafe. And I'm honestly surprised that they only had one player being red carded the whole match. I forgot his name, but the guy who was playing as a right back for Getafe, the Uruguayan guy, that guy should have gotten at least 4 yellow cards. Constantly elbowing Lewandowski, constantly wrestling Lewandowski to the ground. I'm not sure how he was allowed to play throughout the whole match. But nonetheless, difficult match for Barcelona as it was expected. Barcelona was not able to unlock that defense. They were a little bit slow with the movement of the ball, but I did see a difference in last season. I think I liked how Barcelona have gotten more vertical versus horizontal. Last season I used to complain about this a lot, that Barcelona were very horizontal with the ball, where they would just move the ball from left to right, one side of the other of the field, without ever going forward. Today we saw a lot of passes forward, a lot of horizontal movement of the ball by Barcelona forward. But still, we're lacking that kind of key player, that creative player that can unlock kind of these low block defenses, who can dribble past players. Pretty much what Messi used to do for us. We're still missing that. And now you see why Xavi continues to ask for the signing of a creative midfielder. A lot of people always talk about, well, why does Xavi want another midfielder? Why does he want Bernardo Silva? Why does he want Lo Celso? We have so many midfielders. Where this is exactly why, for a situation like this, where passing the ball simply is not enough, because when you have 10 men defending right in front of you, passing the ball is not going to work. There's no space to move the ball. So that's when you need someone who can just run through these defenders with their dribbling skills. And of course, we were definitely missing that today. We saw a little bit of update. He tried to do that, but we'll talk about that later, because I do want to talk about individual players. But that's pretty much my overall sense about the entire match. Again, dirty, disgusting match by Getafe and Bordalas, which is very common. That's how he plays. And Barcelona were not able to unlock that low Low block defense, which caused, of course, Barcelona to draw its first match. We needed the win. It would have been nice to have a win because Real Madrid did win their match yesterday against Athletic Club de Bilbao 2-0. So with this draw, obviously Madrid have already began the season 2 points ahead of us, but it's nothing to worry about. It's nothing to pull our hair. The season is very, very long. We just began. There's 37 more matches, 9-10 months ahead of us. So nothing to be alarmed about, but of course it would have been nice to start the season with a victory. Now, just a quick reminder, last season we did begin the season with a draw against, I think it was Rayo Vallecano, I can't remember, and then we ended up being champions. So I know I've seen a lot of people commenting on social media like, oh my god, we started by draw, obviously the season's gonna go bad. Hold your horses, the season is just beginning. By the way, speaking of Real Madrid, what a way to start the season, because Courtois, their goalkeeper, suffered a torn ACL before the season began. He will be out for the entire season. We got Militao, who just suffered an injury yesterday in the match. He will be out for the entire season. Arda Güler, who Real Madrid, I think, paid something like 60 million euros for him in order to steal him away from Barcelona. He suffered a knee injury. He's going to have to undergo surgery. He will be out for almost 4 months. And now Mbappe is not joining Real Madrid. There's talks about Mbappe. He's going to just wait until his contract runs out. Till next season, so he can arrive for free. But now there's even talks about him possibly renewing with PSG. So what a way for Madrid to start the season. No Courtois, no Militao, no Arda Güler, and no Mbappe. But let's get into the comment section. Let's get a discussion going, and then we'll talk about the actual formation. We'll talk about individual players and see how it goes, since it is the first time I'm doing this post-match live stream. So I'm just feeling it out. Okay, let's see. Oh my God, a lot of comments. Blaurana Kule says, this was an absolute dumpster fire of a match. Yes, it was. Terrible refereeing, by the way. Absolutely horrible refereeing. I'm not sure how that last call on Araujo was not a penalty kick, saying that it was a handball by Gavi. Totally did not really apply the same rules to both teams. I'm not saying he favored one or the other, but he definitely missed a lot of things. Terrible refereeing. And then that red card for Xabi, for what? But anyways, I prefer not to talk about referees, because at the end of the day, the team should have done its job and they didn't. So let's see. What do you guys? DPK says, Lewandowski performance review, boys. We'll talk about Lewandowski in a little bit, because again, I want to do kind of like individual players, but I wanted to see what you guys were seeing in general. Let's see. What else? Crispy Chickens. Oh, no. Crispy Chicken was replying to someone. Fibsy says, it's going to be a great season, boys. Buckle up. I think so. I saw a lot of promising things. I think it's going to be definitely a better season than yesterday. Tutu says, I'll keep blaming a ref, a dummy that should have had played 4-3-3. Full attack against a low block team, but instead he didn't play 4 midfielders. It was more of a 3-2. It's more of a 3-3-1-3 formation. But no, he did not play 3 midfield. I mean, Gundogan was acting more of a winger, sometimes as a false 9. But yeah, and I don't think going 4-3-3 would have done much against Getafe. It was the same story last season. Chris says, Laua's getting old and bad. No, he's not. And I'll talk about it a little bit later. Let's see. All right. Torreira says, what do you guys think is our best midfield right now? Because I think there are many good players, but only 3 to 4 slots. That's something we're going to have to figure out as the season progresses, because we do have a lot of midfielders, and we're going to have to see what works best. We have a lot of new incorporations with Romeo, Ilkay Gundogan, maybe Fermin Lopez. So we'll have to see as Xabi tries things out. But let's talk about the actual formation. We started out with, and actually, I want to pull up. I keep saying that I'm going to get a streaming software, but it's taking me a little bit longer just to figure it out, because I kind of wanted to share my screen with you. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it on time for this live stream. I'll try to get it for tomorrow. I wanted to share kind of my screen with you as far as the formation, so we could discuss it a little bit more. But we started out with Mark ter Stegen in goal. Of course, we had Balde on the left, Araujo playing as a right back, and then Christensen and Kunde as center backs. Now, we talked about how Araujo has actually offered himself to kind of be right back when needed. Of course, Barcelona are still working on finalizing the signing of Cancelo, so Araujo had to cover there. Not a bad job by Araujo. I personally liked what he did, but of course, it would have been a completely different story had we had a specialist there, because even though Araujo did a phenomenal job defending, of course, attacking, he can only do so much because he's a natural center back. He's not a right back. I think with a specialist right back, it would have helped a lot in kind of widening the whole field and helping us unlock that low defense. But of course, we had to play what we had, whatever cards we had on the table. As far as Christensen and Koundé, good job by both. Koundé was really, really solid. He made a couple of mistakes during the first half, but was able to recover right away. Really, really solid by Koundé. A little bit more discreet by match by Christensen, who was later subbed out. And Balde also was not able to do much on the left wing. He was kind of let. So when I say the formation wasn't really a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2, it was more of a three line of center backs with Balde always left free to roam. He didn't do much defensive duties. He was left kind of like to take care of that left wing by himself. But Getafe did a good job of pretty much neutralizing that threat from Balde. That's for sure. Now, more of the lineup. We saw Oriol Romeo and Frankie Young, kind of like the two of them standing in front of that line of three center backs. Phenomenal job by both. I really like the two together. They do a really, really good job holding the defense or holding the midfield. Frankie de Jong making those runs. We talked about this during the preseason. I think with Oriol Romeo being there, being the solid defender that he is, or the solid defensive midfielder that he is, I think it gives Frankie de Jong a little bit more leeway or more freedom to make those runs, which we saw a few of those runs during the first half. A little less during the second half, obviously, because we did lose Rafinha, and then eventually Frankie de Jong did drop as a center back. But really great job by both. I really like when Romeo incorporates himself to the attack. I mean, that's something that I didn't necessarily expect from him. I always knew he was a solid defensive midfielder, but we saw that run where he dribbles past like three defenders, shoots, but unfortunately goes too wide. Really like that from Oriol Romeo. Again, I stand by what I've said all over summer, that Oriol Romeo is going to be a great signing. He's proven that he is a great signing so far, especially since he only cost, 3.5 million euros. I mean, that's probably one of the best signings we've made in a very long time, not just quality-wise, but price-wise. To be able to sign someone who's as experienced and as solid as Romeo for 3.5 million euros is definitely impressive. All right, let's do a few more comments, and then we'll keep going through the formation. I don't want to do this live stream too long because I do wanna get to the news video, which I have yet to film and edit, but it will be coming for sure. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Wow, you guys are really enjoying the this live stream, I guess, or I see a lot of discussion. I love it. Rafael Castro says nothing bad to say to the players, but Rafinha, he played a stupid game and won a stupid prize. Yes, I do want to talk about Rafinha a little bit as we keep working our way through the lineup, but definitely stupid thing what he did. Adam says update was not that good. Suddenly I thought about Neymar. I mean, look, I told you guys I would like to have update on the team because he has that speed, that dribbling, but don't expect great things. After all, he has yet to prove himself. But when I said that, everybody jumped on me. Oh my God, what are you talking about? Update's the great. We got to have update. Shabby's an idiot for not wanting update. Like I said, guys, do not expect great things. He's yet to prove himself. He's only played one successful season in first division, and he was with Osasuna, and he wasn't even a definitive starter for them. So that's the problem with a lot of time, fans put all these expectations and then they end up getting disappointed, but not by the player. They end up disappointing themselves because they're the ones who put in this expectation out there for no reason. Let's see. Torrera says, I think if we sign a right back, we will have the best center back line in the world with Koundé and Araujo. I agree. I think that's the only thing our defense is missing is a specialist in the right back position. If we can get that, I mean, we'll be unstoppable. Maybe not completely unstoppable because our offense is still lacking, but definitely defensively speaking. I mean, our defense was already one of the best, if not the best in Europe last season, and we can add that specialist in the right back position, I think we are really, really good. DPK says maybe our midfielders should start shooting from outside the box. They did. There was several shots during this match, but we don't really have anybody who is necessarily specialist in outside the box kicks. I mean, maybe Oriol Romeo has a strong shot, but not as accurate, you know. But we do lack that kind of that midfielder that can do that. Like someone like what's that guy that we signed from Juve and we never played him? Oh my God, I'm completely blanking on his name. If you guys remember, put it in the comment section. But yeah, or someone like Valverde, Brian says, yeah, we don't have that player who can make those long distance shots, but that would definitely help, especially against slow block teams. Pjanic, thank you. Who gives a fuck? Why would you choose that name, man? So yeah, Pjanic. We don't have someone like Pjanic who can make those shots from outside the box. But there was definitely several attempts to shoot the ball from outside the box by the team. But again, since we don't have someone like Pjanic, someone like Valverde, then it's hard. But let's keep going through the lineup because we had it was more of a 4-2-3-1 lineup, really, because we had the line of four center backs with Balde always being left loose and De Jong and Romeo on their own line. And then we had kind of like Pedri, Rafinha, Gundogan, and then Lewandowski, like kind of like a sole attacker. That's more of the lineup it was. It wasn't a 4-3-3, it wasn't a 4-4-2. It's more of our 4-2-3-1. So in the line of three of attackers, we had, of course, Rafinha on the right, Pedri in the middle, and Gundogan on the left. Rafinha, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This guy has absolutely no business being a Barcelona player. I don't know what the hell were we thinking when we paid 60 million euros for him. I said it all last season. I was called a hater over and over again, that I somehow had something personal against them. By the way, that's a really silly thing to say, that I have something personal against them. I don't know these players. I've never met them. I don't know them. I don't know anything about them. All I see is what they do on the field. So to claim that I have something personal is just silly, because why would I? But anyways, Rafinha, no business being a Barcelona player. He showed it me all last season. He showed me during the preseason. He's showing me again during this season. Guy cannot cannot create any danger on the right wing. Absolutely nothing. And then he goes and does that really stupid foul. Completely swinging. This wasn't like, oh, I went to get the ball and accidentally kicked him. He completely swung at the Getafe player. And let's see how much time he's going to get off the field, because we already know La Liga love to screw us over. When Lewandowski touched his nose like this last season, they gave him a 3-match suspension, and that's just for this. Can't even imagine how much Rafinha is going to get, because he fully swung. Like, you can see it. He just jumps at him and just fully swings at him. Stupid mistake. The game was a little bit going in our favor as far as refereeing, because Getafe, like I said, disgusting game by all of them. They were committing fouls left and right. They were starting to get yellows. The referee was starting to notice. And then this idiot goes and does that. Why? Why would you fall into their trap? You are a 26-year-old player who's been playing football, professional football at the highest level for several seasons now. Why would you fall for something that stupid? I would expect something like this maybe from Pedri, maybe from Gavi, maybe from Balde, from Lamine Yamal, these teenagers who still don't have much experience, who are still very young, who have yet to learn and mature. But to expect it from someone who is 26 years old, who's been playing the game for a very long time, to fall for such a silly thing, for these mind games that Getafe players that are known to play, and he goes and does that and leaves the team completely exposed, because now we're down a man for the rest of the first half. By the way, fastest red card for Barcelona since 2014. So good job, Rafinha. At least you left your mark somehow on the team, since you can't really leave it with your play. It's absolutely stupid. Now, Getafe did get a second yellow card, which became a red during the second half, but you still left your team exposed throughout most of the first half. And then in the second half, we could have been a man, with an advantage of one extra player, but instead, now we were 10 versus 10 because Rafinha is an idiot. And here's the thing. Rafinha was going to be Dembele's, or it was Dembele's substitute all last season, and then Dembele gets injured, so obviously Rafinha gets to play. This season, it was going to be the same thing. Rafinha was supposed to be Dembele's substitute. Dembele leaves. This is Rafinha's moment to shine, to show, yes, I should be the starter. What does he do on the first freaking match? He does this. Like, what is going on, guys? Anyways, let's keep moving on through the lineup because we had Pedri right behind Lewandowski. Very unimpressive first half by Pedri. Definitely stepped it up during the second half. But we can't really criticize much Pedri. The things that he does, it's, unmatched in the whole world. Gundogan, okay match by Gundogan. It's obviously still has yet to adapt and get used to the team. So I'm not gonna say he's a crappy player. He's obviously not. He's an excellent player, but he's yet to adapt. And then Lewandowski. Yes, Lewandowski was mostly gone for the whole match. I don't necessarily think that it's because he's old or he sucks or he's getting bad. Lewandowski, you guys got to understand, he's not Luis Suarez or he's not Erling Haaland. Lewandowski is your classic center forward, your classic number 9 who waits in the box for someone to cross him the ball and he pushes it in. That's what he's best at. That's what he's good at. He's not the number 9 that you can pass him the ball and expect him to run with it, past defenders and score. That's not the kind of number 9 he is. That's more of a Vitor Roque profile or Luis Suarez profile, but not Lewandowski. So when Lewandowski cannot score, it's not because he's losing his form, but because he's sucking. It's because simply the team cannot get him the ball. We had that problem last season, throughout last season. Somehow he still managed to be the top scorer of La Liga last season. And of course, the problem is recurring now. Not as bad as the season before, but it's still. And of course, it was due to that low block defense that Getafe were doing. Plus, he was being marked really nasty. He was constantly being elbowed, constantly being taken down to the ground. Most of it when he didn't even have the ball. So really disgusting, again, match by Bordalas and his man. But it is Getafe. What do we expect? Now, let's get back to the comment section and then talk about the substitutions because there were a total of 4 substitutions. So we'll talk about it a little bit more. Let's see. Man, this chat is blowing up. I love it. I love it that you guys got a discussion going and you're enjoying this. Again, this will be after every match. We'll do the live stream after every match to get a discussion going, just see what you guys think about the team's performance, the players' performance, etc., etc. All right. Phoenix says, I think we should play 4-2-3-1. That's what we did pretty much. Inside wingers attacking, fullback midfield duo of Frankie and Romeo. I mean, that's pretty much what Xabi played. It was a 4-2-3-1 with, Romeo and Frankie de Jong holding kind of like the midfield, the double pivot, which, again, I really love to see Frankie and Romeo. I think they're doing a phenomenal job as a double pivot. Let's see. What are you guys else saying? Ali says, one mistake doesn't make someone a bad player. We have Yamal and Abde to play in that role. Abde did a great job. I think Xabi could have introduced Ferran for Lewy. I think I would like better Ansu coming in. But, yeah, we could have tried out Ferran, I guess. That's a good point. Let's see. What else? Oh, Ibrahim says, hit the like button. Yes, please, guys. See 236 people watching. By the way, that's the most we've gotten on a live stream, so that's amazing. But only 56 people have liked it, so that's a 5th. So let's make sure we hit that like button, get YouTube to promote this video, and then we can keep growing because it will promote it to people who've never been on the channel. All right. Who gives a fuck says, whole Spain is against us. Now we need to win Trebel. Well, it's not going to happen this season, my friend. We're still very far from winning a Trebel, but we're definitely on the right course. Let's see what else. This chat moved on me, so I have no idea where I'm at. Let's see. Wow, I definitely lost where we were at. Okay. Touch Sama says that ref gave them the draw, but to be critical of the team, Lua is underperforming. Ansu should enter earlier. Yamal needs more time on the ball. Even with the mistakes, he oozes talents. All right. That's a good segue because let's talk about the substitutions because we had 4 substitutions. We had, first of all, we saw Abde come in during the halftime. Christensen was sacrificed for that. Thanks to Rafinha, of course, since he had gotten the red card. Christensen was sacrificed with Abde. coming in on the left wing and kind of Balde dropping to that line of 4 of center backs. Abde caused some trouble. He did cause a lot of trouble with his speed, with his dribbling, but he's definitely still lacking that final decision and final touch. We saw him miss the ball several times. We saw him pass the ball when he was supposed to shoot, or shoot the ball when he was supposed to pass. Of course, it's normal. He's still young. He's still yet to learn and adapt. But I did like his runs. I like that he is so confident that he's willing to make those runs. He's not afraid of losing the ball. And that's very important for a Barcelona winger, because that's the Barcelona winger's job, is to dribble the ball on the sides and kind of create those openings, which Rafinha doesn't do. Not only because he doesn't know how to dribble, but he's also afraid of losing the ball a lot of times. Rafinha, you see him hesitant. He'll be running, then he sees a defender and he automatically stops, and it's kind of like, oh my God, what do I do? And then makes a side pass or makes some useless cross into the box. And that's not the case of Abde. Abde grabs the ball and just goes. If it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't, which that's all you can ask of a player, is to at least try. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least try. And that's what I like about Abde. He definitely tries. We saw it today, but he still has to work on his final touch and his final decision making. It's kind of like the problem that Real Madrid had with Vinicius for 2 seasons, where Vinicius was an absolute menace on that left side, just completely going through defenders with his speed, with his dribbling, and then he would make it to the penalty box, completely blow it. Either shoot the ball super far, or would make a horrible pass, or would pass when he had to shoot, or shoot when he had to pass. And it took him like 2 seasons at least until he finally got that decision and final touch correct. And I think that's what we're seeing with Abde. We also saw Ansu Fati. I think he should have been given a little bit more time, but I really, really liked the little few minutes that Ansu Fati had, even though he didn't do much necessarily as far as, opportunities or chances. He did have one. But what I like about Ansu Fati is we're definitely seeing him getting his confidence back. Last season, whenever Ansu Fati would get on the field, you could see him kind of hesitant. You would see him kind of like not going all the way full in. It was probably, mental, just thinking, being afraid of getting injured again. We're not seeing that. We didn't see it in the preseason. I didn't see it this match. He looks confident. He goes for his shots. He goes for his chances. And I really, really like that, because that's what Ansu Fati needs to do to recover his form, because no matter how healthy he gets, if he's going to be afraid to go for the ball or go for chances, then obviously he's never going to recover his form. So really liked a few minutes from Ansu Fati. We saw Lamine Yamal come in on the right. Didn't necessarily have a good match. Lost the ball. Several times. Had a few problems with controlling the ball. But it's like someone said in a comment section, even when he misses the ball, even when he's not having a great match, you can see that this kid is special. And there's no doubt about it. And plus, what else can you ask of a 16-year-old? I'm not going to come here and say, oh my God, Lamine Yamal, he sucked, horrible match. He should be sold. Not at all. It's a 16-year-old playing first division football for the first time in his life. Yes, he didn't have a great performance like he did in a preseason, but there's not much we can ask of him. This kid is special, and we will see it eventually. We'll just need patience. Now, I will say this. I'm starting to see something brewing between Lamine and Ansu on the field. We saw little flashes of it today, the way they combine, the way they read each other's movements, the way they attack the space together. I'm starting to see some kind of chemistry, some kind of connection between the two develop. It's not there yet, but I'm starting to see it, kind of like what Messi had with Jordi Alba. Those two always understood each other. And I'm starting to see that between Ansu and Lamine. And if these two guys, and remember, these two guys are really, really young. If these two guys can develop that chemistry further, these two can make a lot of damage. Okay, the fourth substitution was Gabi. Didn't play much minutes for me to judge his match. He did an incredible save in those final moments of the match where he just slid with everything he had and blocked the ball, prevented a late goal that would have, took away from us all the points. But of course, that's Gabi. That's how he plays. He's an absolute warrior. He gives it his 200% every match. It doesn't matter what kind of match it is. He plays every match like it's the final of the Champions League. Unfortunately that he got that yellow card. But again, the refereeing was absolutely horrible. I wouldn't say it was the referee's fault. that we drew the game. Obviously, the team didn't do its job, but terrible refereeing, and more importantly, disgusting match by Bordalas and his men, which again, it's expected. That's just what they do. All right, let's do comment section, and then we'll probably wrap it up because we are at the 30-minute mark. Wow, how have I been talking for so long? And plus, again, I will be doing the news video as soon as I end this live stream. I'll do the news video and I'll post it. So be on the lookout for that, guys. All right, let's see. Richard says, whether a person is a Xavi fan or not, one thing is very clear, is that his game subscriptions are poor. He waited too late. Do you mean substitutions? He waited too late to put in players like Yamal, Abde, and Ansu. I mean, Abde came in at the halftime. I don't know if that's late. If anything, that's usually early. Coaches make substitutions at the 60-minute mark. Let's see. Lamine Yamal, we have to protect that kid. He's 16 years old. He's still developing. You cannot bring him any sooner. I mean, you have to ease him in, right? So this is how it's going to be probably for a while, 10, 15 minutes, and then increasing it gradually. Cannot bring him earlier. I would say I would have liked to see Ansu Fati a little bit earlier. But again, Abde came in at the halftime. Lamine Yamal, you can't bring him any earlier. Okay, let's see. Daniel says we have to start Ansu Fati and Balde. They complement each other perfectly. Yes, they do. We saw that in the preseason. We didn't see much of it today because Ansu Fati was more in the middle. But we saw it in the preseason. Ansu and Balde playing really well on the left. But again, I'm liking what I'm seeing with Ansu and Lamine. Luke says Yamal came in the 72nd minute. No, yeah, he did towards the end. Chicken Tajin, we need a proper right back. Time to revisit the legendary 4-3-3. Barcelona very close, finalizing the signing of Joao Cancelo, so we'll have a proper right back pretty soon. All right, and DJ says Ansu, Yamal, Fermin was missing. I mean, we had Ansu and Yamal. I guess Fermin. Problem is, who would you bring Fermin for? All right. Max says Lamine Yamal is a very intelligent player. He protected himself and he didn't take unnecessary risks that could have gotten him injured. I agree. Because the way the match was going, I mean, anybody could have been injured because it was absolutely disgusting how Getafe were playing. All right, guys. I think this is it. This concludes our first post-match analysis in the live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be leaving a survey in the community tab, so you guys let me know if you enjoyed the live stream, if there's anything you would like to see, anything you would like to change, etc. Because again, since it is the first time, I'm still feeling it out, seeing what you guys would like to see during this live stream. Again, I'm going to be making the news video as soon as I end this live stream, so be on the lookout for that. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in tonight's news video. And of course, the live stream for tomorrow will be on schedule, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all your comments. The chat section was really live today. I love it. Keep that energy, and I'll see you guys in tonight's video in probably a couple of hours. Have a good day, good night, good morning, whatever you are. And as always, peace, Barca.